let's begin the tutorial. First, we'll go over instant blocking. Instant blocking is a powerful method of guarding against your opponent's attacks and is done by blocking just before an attack touches you. If successful, your character will flash white. If you successfully execute an instant block, you can benefit from a number of effects. The recovery from blocking becomes shorter than from a normal block, and the distance you get pushed back after blocking becomes shorter, making it easy to counterattack. Your heat gauge will also increase by 3%. Now, let's begin the exercise. Your opponent will come at you with dash standing B, then standing C, then standing D repeatedly. Try instant blocking to defend against their attacks.
Action!
You stupid! You stupid! Saw it coming! Chase
Excellent!
A respectable performance. If you can master instant block, you'll be able to counterattack against certain attack strings and turn situations where you're at a disadvantage into ones where you have the upper hand instead. At first, don't worry about counterattacking and just use it as a way to build up your heat gauge when you have the breathing room to do it. You can start to think about counterattacking from instant block when you've improved a little further. Instant barrier is a type of blocking that combines the characteristics of instant block and barrier guard. If you barrier guard the moment before your opponent's attack touches you, your barrier will be up and your character will flash white. Do you remember how to barrier guard? That's right. It's back A and B together. Don't forget it. As with barrier guard, this type of blocking can also guard against attacks that can't be blocked with jumping guard, as well as prevent you from taking chip damage caused by blocking special attacks. It also makes block recovery shorter than when you block normally, and gives you a 3% gain in heat gauge. These are the same benefits you get with a normal instant block. Additionally, instant barrier has the unique characteristic of creating more distance between you and the opponent than any other type of blocking. Now, let's do some exercises with it. Your opponent will dash in at you and do standing B, then standing C, then standing D repeatedly. Use instant barrier to guard against their attacks.
Action!
Son! You stupid! Gauntlet! You stupid!
Excellent!
Instant barrier is more difficult than blocking normally, but when done successfully, it gives you some significant benefits. Instant barrier makes creating distance between you and your opponent very easy, making it easy to endure their pressure. One more thing. The trick to doing the input is rather than doing it after an attack reaches you, input your block a little early. If you do that, even if you don't get an instant barrier, you will still get a normal block, and that will let things follow more easily. This is very important. Remember it well, as it is knowledge that all warriors should have. A break burst can only be activated by pressing A, B, C, and D at the same time when blocking, knocked down on the ground, or when stunned or reeling from being hit by an attack. The condition for activating one is that the overdrive icon below and to the left of your health gauge is lit up. When Break Burst activates, you will be invulnerable, and if it hits your opponent, they will fly far away from you. Cutting off the opponent's combo when you're getting hit by it, and changing the situation when you're being pressured are the general ways in which you can employ a Break Burst. Also, when you activate a Break Burst, your overdrive icon will cease to be lit, and you will consume all of your overdrive gauge. The overdrive gauge replenishes over time, and as you get hit by attacks. When it reaches full once more, the overdrive icon will light up again. The degree to which it has replenished is indicated by the orange gauge on the outside of the overdrive icon, so keep an eye on it. Now then, let's give it a try. Your opponent will attack you. Cut them off by doing a Break Burst. In this tutorial mode, the Overdrive icon is set to light up right away, but in real matches it requires a fairly long time to light up again.
Action!
You stupid liar! Overload! Gauntlet! You superior overload! You superior overload!
Excellent!
Break Burst is almost your best defensive option for escaping in an emergency. However, as I said before, it comes at the cost of losing all of your overdrive gauge. Break Bursts are especially helpful during the final round when you have very little health left. There are cases where the timing with which you use a Break Burst can put you at a disadvantage, such as using it halfway through a match and leaving you unable to Break Burst for a long time. Break Burst shares the overdrive gauge with the Overdrive system, which I'll explain afterward. So you think hard about when you want to use your Break Bursts. Overdrive is an offensive system that enhances your abilities for a period of time. It exists as a counterpart to the defensive system of Break Bursts. The conditions for activating it are that you be in a normal state, such as while moving, or states in which you can block, or when your opponent has blocked or been hit by one of your normal attacks, that is special attack cancelable. When in any of the above states, press A, B, C, and D together to activate Overdrive. As with Break Bursts, it also requires that the Overdrive icon below and to the left of your health gauge be lit up. Also, when you activate Overdrive, the Overdrive icon will no longer be lit, and 2/3 of your Overdrive gauge is consumed. This means activating Overdrive costs less than activating a Break Burst. The Overdrive gauge replenishes over time and as you get hit by attacks. When it reaches full once more, the Overdrive icon will light up again. The degree to which it has been replenished is indicated by the orange gauge on the outside of the Overdrive icon, so keep an eye on it. Now then, let's give it a try. Activate Overdrive. In this tutorial mode, the Overdrive icon is set to light up right away, but in real matches it requires a moderate amount of time to light up again.
Action!
Going into overdrive! Mother! Mother! Going into overdrive! Mother! Out of my way! Going into overdrive! Going into overdrive! Go to hell! Out of my way! Go to hell! Going into overdrive! Out of my way! Going into overdrive! Go to hell! Out of my way! Go to hell! Out of my way! It's over.
Excellent!
While Overdrive is activated, not only are characters' unique abilities enhanced, but opponents cannot Break Burst out of your attacks. The duration of Overdrive increases the lower your remaining health is. However, when you activate Overdrive by canceling from a normal attack, the duration will be shorter. Additionally, there is a period of time during the Overdrive activation where you are invincible, so it can be used defensively to evade your opponent's attacks. It's a system that has high potential to allow players to come back from far behind, so exploring the uses of Overdrive rather than Break Burst will, in the end, make you a better player. However, when Overdrive is activated, you will also not be able to use Break Burst. You will not be able to enjoy the benefits of the defensive Break Burst system if you choose more attack power with Overdrive. Think about when you want to activate Overdrive in conjunction with your usage of Break Bursts, depending on the situation. It's okay to rely on Break Bursts for now, but as you get better and you start to experiment with activating Overdrive and figure out combos, the true path to becoming an elite warrior should open before you. I didn't mention this before, but while Overdrive is activated, the properties of a portion of distortion drives are enhanced. For Ragna, both Consumed by Darkness and Carnage Scissors are enhanced. I think you better try them out for yourself to see exactly how they change. Give it a shot. Try your distortion drives while in Overdrive. You can compare them to the normal versions of both distortion drives if you want.
Action!
Any last words? Going into overdrive! This'll hurt! This'll hurt! Going into overdrive! Any last words? Well? Eat it! Going into overdrive! Any last words? Well? Mother! 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 Chase this! Eat it! Eat it! Going into overdrive! Any last words? Going into overdrive! Going into overdrive! Chase this! Going into overdrive! Out of my way! Carnage Scissors! Going into overdrive! Carnage Scissors! It's over!
Excellent!
Doing a distortion drive while in Overdrive will cause the background to turn mostly red. When you do a distortion drive when the Overdrive time limit is about to run out, you will still have the effects of the Overdrive version of the distortion drive. Additionally, the damage dealt by the Overdrive version of distortion drives is simply massive. Even the simple combo of standing B, then standing C, then Carnage Scissors does plenty of damage, so you should actively use it. An Astral Heat is an unparalleled special attack that unleashes your maximum power, which can end your opponent in a single shot if it hits. However, there are a number of conditions you must meet to activate it. 1. You only need to win one more round to win the match. 2. Your opponent's health gauge is at 35% or lower. 3. Your heat gauge is 100% full. Once these 3 conditions are met, the character portrait next to your health bar will start to flash, indicating that you can activate an Astral Heat. Land this, and you will be finished with the intermediate level tutorial. Show me that you can unleash your full power.
Action!
I'll show you the power
Nice!
of the Azure! There is no hell, just darkness!
Astral finish!
Rest in peace.
Lesson clear.
Good job on completing the intermediate level tutorial. I suspect you'll find much of what you learned in this section very useful in battle. However, as you exchange blows, you may find yourself losing your way. If you forget anything you've learned, or if you'd like to rethink the way you're fighting, come here and knock on these doors. The beginning is always the most important. Good luck with the final tutorial. You have great talent. I'm sure you'll be fine.